Mbire mbire hubaking labe.
Biringanti kalungam.
Mbaking la yipala ya zorzu.
Biringanti kalungam.
This is the old man from Frafraland, Agana in Seri. And I'm coming to you with folk tales from Frafraland. Take a look at the tale of Monkey's Tail.
A big tailless baboon sits deeply in the woods, grumbling to himself bitterly. These hunters think they own everybody, killing us and snipping our tails off as they please. Must be hanging them as trophies in their most secure food barns. But not me and not King Baboon's tail. He gets up and slowly emerges from the woods into an open clearing and immediately squats heavily on his rump. Looking toward the hunter's house ahead, he notices a small boy sitting atop the food barn. He breaks into song, almost like a moaning appeal.
Mbire mbire husoking labe.
Biringanti kalungam.
Mbire mbire hubaking labe.
Biringanti kalungam.
Mbaking la yipala ya zorzu.
Biringanti kalungam.
Tolu de yake enzor boma.
Biringanti kalungam.
Manona tambang e huzurio.
Biringanti kalungam.
Humingan tambang e huzuri.
Biringanti kalungam.
Tazungam, tazungam, tazungam. Baboon shifts nearer and the child nervously shifts backward, glancing down with growing fear. Suddenly, movement in the woods beside the house startles King Baboon and he bolts back into the forest. Moments later, the hunter emerges from the woods with yet another baboon slung across his back and a long tail hanging from his left hand. The son, with fear in his eyes, quickly climbs down and rushes to support his father as he steps into the yard and drops the game heavily on the ground.
Father, something strange happened.
Something. What happened, child?
A monkey came here. The biggest I've ever seen.
The father tightens his face thoughtfully, staring at the ground for a moment. Then he gently takes his son's hand and leads him to sit beside him on a platform against the wall of a hut. The son remains standing before him. Looking up with worried eyes, the father says, "Son, tell me all about it."
It was a big monkey. Very big.
And had no tail.
But father, how did you know that?
I know him, son. He is a baboon. In fact, he is the king of the baboons.
Now, what did he do?
He talked to me.
The father rises suddenly, staring down towards the woods and pointing in that direction.
I saw movement in the woods over there. Was that him?
Yes, father. He talked to me.
Listen, son. Listen carefully. Because your life and mine are in danger.
Unless... He slowly lifts his eyes toward the top of the food barn, his expression hardening as realization dawns upon him. Then he nods slowly. Yes, unless...
Biringanti kalungam.
Humingan tambang e huzuri.
Biringanti kalungam.
The story is about a hunter and his son who lived in the woods. The hunter used to go hunting and would cut off the tails of all the animals he killed because there was the belief that the lifeline for the wild animals laid in their tails. To ensure their proper deaths, you immediately cut off the tails. But here comes Baboon one day looking for his tail. He's asking the child, Child, where is the father gone? Father is gone to Newtown on the hilltop, says the child. Then go and fetch me my tail, says Baboon. Can I know which is your tail? replies the child. It's you who will know which is your tale. Most Frafraland folk tales go with music and with song, the universal language. Mbire mbire so sing labe, biringante kalungam. Mbire mbire so sing labe, biringante kalungam. Mbaking la yipala ya zurzu, biringante kalungam. Tolo yakin zuri bomam, biringante kalungam. Mano na tambango zuriyo, biringante kalungam. Umenga na tambango zuri, biringante kalungam. Tazungam, tazungam, tazungam. The biringante is onomatopoeic for the majestic steps of the baboon. Onomatopoeia is the English term used to describe words or names given to sounds or movements or situations which mimic the character of the name given to them. Biringante describes the heavy, majestic steps of the baboon. Biringante. The kalungam is onomatopoeic for the deep-set eyes of monkey within their sockets. As one looks when one is severely dehydrated, the eyes are sunken and they look kalungam. The tazungam, tazungam, tazungam is the furious bounding here and there of baboon in response to the child's refusal to bring his tail. So baboon is furious and he is bounding here and there, showing his might, showing his power over the child. You tell the child, I'm annoyed, so go bring my tail. Frafraland folktale narratives are usually brief and to the point. Hunter Awia goes into the food barn and smokes hot his spears. As monkey comes and asks the child for his tail, on instruction, the child is pointing decidedly at the food barn. That is where your tail is. Baboon already knows. There are inquisitive characters in the wild. They go even to the villages to know where all the food is stored. And he knows where his tail is. He goes from the Zayore, the frontage of the house, through the Yanga, the gate, into the Nadene, the animal's yard, climbs the Behenga, the short wall separating the animal's yard from the human's yard. He climbs up the food barn, the bare. Then he bends down and stretches his long arm to pick his tail from the wooden steps that cross the food barn. That was his mistake. The flaming spear comes, and that spells the end of baboon. and also the end of the terror and potential danger that faced the child. Wait for the next folk tale from the old man from Frafraland, coming from his archives, Fact and Fable from Frafraland.